This was supposed to be a short video. I don't know what happened. Welcome to day 74 of the 100-Day Video Journal Challenge. I don't know about you, but especially when someone has words like integrity and authenticity in their marketing, if they try to appear like they never have any problems, like they never have any vulnerabilities or insecurities, like they're absolutely perfect, I don't trust them. And this kind of comes back to, I guess for me, if you're not all about like authenticity and being real and open about everything and transparency, then it doesn't bother me, because then you're very obviously only projecting a professional persona, right? Which is fine. That's your choice. If you want to separate who you are from your business, I think that's great. Personally, it's not the way I do it. And I really don't like it when people pretend that they do. There's a lot of that out there right now, right there. There's a lot of that out there right now with like people trying to be, using those words a lot, but not admitting that they're real. And if you are going to be completely transparent and completely honest, you're going to have days when you don't know what you're doing. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to do things wrong. You're going to be an asshole sometimes. And I think it's really important to own that, because I don't know. I just don't buy the bullshit. And I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in this. I know the first time this really hit home for me, because I used to buy into the whole like we're all supposed to be perfect thing as well. I used to buy into that a lot, and walked around feeling really guilty for not being perfect for most of my life. And then I took some personal coaching, and I'd had some coaches who were all, like, this is the way you're supposed to do it, and this is how it's done, and it was all very, I would get resentful and defiant because, I'm not perfect. I'm a flawed human being, and I'm quite, I quite like that. It feels like a dirty secret, but I kind of like my flawed human being. I quite enjoy being flawed. Maybe that's too much to confess, but it's true. And it feels pretentious. It feels condescending to me, when someone pretends that they're perfect and that you should follow them, because it's never true. And then I had a coach, I don't know, my coach left for some reason, and I had another coach who was just so open about how fucked up she was and, like mistakes that she made and is still making. So it's not like a lot of people will sell you their story and overcoming things, like I was like that, but that's all in the past now, and I'm never like that anymore. And that's just not how growth works. You don't go from A to B and then A is never seen again. As soon as you're put in a different situation or you have stressful circumstances happen to you, or whatever, and depending on how far along you worked on something, the less likely it is to show up. But it's always going to show up. Like the way you do things is the way you do things, and it will change and it will evolve, but it'll never disappear. And the fact that people like go like, well, I'm completely over that and it never happens anymore, that's not true. It's never true. It shows up in different ways. It shows up in different parts of your life. It shows, maybe, hopefully, if you've been doing work, it shows up in smaller ways, but it's never going to completely disappear. Not if you're growing as a person. Anyway, so I remember I was really struggling with this one thing, and I was like, oh, I do this. And it just really made a huge difference to me, because she was like, oh, yeah, I did that last week, and this is how I dealt with it. And sometimes I don't manage, and sometimes I do. And just having someone coach me who was that comfortable being fallible, who was that comfortable going, yeah, I'm not perfect. These are the tools that I use. I don't come across it that often anymore. But, when it does happen, I do this, and sometimes I succeed and sometimes I don't. It taught me so much about trust and how trust works, and how I don't trust people who are too perfect. I don't trust people who tell me they can do everything, because I have so many stoic people in my life. I have so many achievers in my life, and I see the backside of that. Not the backside, but the behind the scenes side of that as well. And I see the struggle, and I see the denial, and I see, the pain that can cause. And, it's much better to be honest about where you are. I don't trust people who say that they're perfect. I don't trust people who say that they know everything. That's impossible. There's always going to be more to learn. And that's what's so wonderful about life and the world and anything worth doing, is that there's so many layers to it. And I don't know, like, I just get goosebumps when I hear people like Ian McKellen say, I'm only just figuring out what acting is about. Like that's just, that's a true master. That's someone who's truly devoted to what they're doing, is that ability to see what's possible